For most of human history, Antarctica has remained beyond the reach of civilization. Covered by an ice sheet nearly 5 kilometers thick in places, lashed by freezing winds and surrounded by some of the world's most dangerous seas, it has long been viewed as a frozen wilderness with little practical value. But beneath this immense blanket of ice lies one of the greatest strategic mysteries on Earth. Nations are investing billions of dollars to study it, map it, and establish a permanent presence. Scientists arrive in the name of research, while governments quietly strengthen their influence. Antarctica is no longer just the coldest continent. It has become one of the most important pieces on the global geopolitical chessboard. Welcome to the Antarctic Race. The story begins in the early 20th century, when several countries laid claim to different parts of Antarctica. Britain, Australia, New Zealand, France, Norway, Chile, and Argentina all declared ownership over large sections of the continent. Some of these claims overlap, particularly those of Britain, Chile, and Argentina, creating long-standing disagreements that remain unresolved today. Meanwhile, countries such as the United States and Russia have never recognized these claims, but have reserved the right to make their own in the future. As more nations became interested in Antarctica, the risk of political conflict increased. Fortunately, diplomacy took a different path. In 1959, 12 nations signed the Antarctic Treaty, transforming the continent into a place dedicated to peace and scientific cooperation. Military activity, nuclear testing, and the disposal of radioactive waste were prohibited, and territorial disputes were effectively frozen without being settled. For more than 60 years, the Antarctic Treaty has been one of the world's greatest diplomatic successes. Today, dozens of countries operate research stations across the continent, sharing scientific knowledge about climate, astronomy, geology, and wildlife. Antarctica has become a giant natural laboratory where international cooperation has often succeeded despite political tensions elsewhere. Yet beneath this peaceful image lies a growing competition. Countries continue to expand their research facilities, build new runways capable of handling larger aircraft, and improve transport links across the ice. Officially, these developments support science. Unofficially, they also strengthen each nation's long-term presence and influence. In international politics, being present often matters just as much as owning territory. One reason for this growing interest is Antarctica's extraordinary natural wealth. Around 70% of the Earth's fresh water is locked inside its ice sheet. If that ice were ever to melt completely, global sea levels would rise by almost 60 meters, reshaping coastlines around the world. But the ice itself is not the only valuable resource. Scientists believe that significant deposits of oil, natural gas, and valuable minerals may exist beneath the continent and the surrounding seabed. Because the ice is so thick, and because international agreements prohibit commercial mining, nobody knows exactly how large these deposits might be. The uncertainty has only increased global curiosity. In a world where demand for energy and critical minerals continues to grow, even the possibility of vast, untapped reserves is enough to attract strategic attention. The surrounding Southern Ocean is equally important. Its waters contain some of the richest fisheries on Earth, particularly for Antarctic krill, a tiny crustacean that forms the foundation of the entire Antarctic food chain. Krill is increasingly harvested for use in nutritional supplements, aquaculture, and animal feed, making it an economically valuable resource. At the same time, the Southern Ocean plays a vital role in regulating the Earth's climate by absorbing large amounts of carbon dioxide and distributing heat through global ocean currents. Whoever studies and understands this region gains valuable knowledge about the future of the planet itself. This makes Antarctica important not only for its resources, but also for its influence on global weather, rising sea levels, and long-term environmental stability. In recent years, China has dramatically expanded its Antarctic program. It now operates several research stations, has constructed modern infrastructure, and continues to increase its scientific expeditions. Chinese officials describe Antarctica as a shared global resource that should benefit all humanity, while emphasizing the importance of scientific research. At the same time, many analysts believe China's growing presence reflects a long-term strategic vision. Building experience, infrastructure, and logistical capability today could provide advantages decades into the future should international rules ever change. China is not alone. India, South Korea, Japan, and many European nations are also investing heavily in Antarctic science, recognizing that influence begins with sustained participation rather than sudden action. The United States and Russia remain major players despite having no recognized territorial claims. Both countries maintain significant research programs and possess decades of polar experience. The United States operates McMurdo Station, the largest research facility in Antarctica, capable of supporting more than 1,000 people during the summer season. Russia continues to operate several research stations while maintaining its long-standing interest in polar exploration. Neither country accepts the territorial claims made by others, leaving open the possibility that future geopolitical circumstances could reshape the legal landscape. Although military activity is prohibited under the Antarctic Treaty, many technologies developed for scientific operations, such as satellite communications, heavy transport aircraft, and ice-capable vessels, also have strategic value. Climate change is adding a new layer of complexity to the Antarctic race. Rising global temperatures are affecting parts of the Antarctic Peninsula and changing sea ice conditions in surrounding waters. While much of Antarctica remains extremely difficult to access, technological advances combined with changing environmental conditions may gradually make exploration easier in some regions. Improved icebreakers, autonomous underwater vehicles, satellite mapping, and advanced drilling technologies are allowing scientists to study areas that were previously impossible to reach. These advances improve our understanding of the continent, but they also increase knowledge of its potential economic resources. As technology continues to improve, the pressure to reconsider existing restrictions could grow stronger. The greatest protection Antarctica currently enjoys is the Protocol on Environmental Protection, signed in 1991. This agreement bans mineral resource activities other than scientific research and reinforces Antarctica's status as a natural reserve devoted to peace and science. Many experts believe the protocol represents one of humanity's greatest environmental achievements. Others argue that growing global demand for critical minerals, energy security, and strategic independence may eventually challenge this consensus. Future generations may face difficult choices between preserving one of the last untouched regions on Earth and exploiting resources that could support billions of people. The decisions made over the coming decades will influence not only Antarctica, but the future balance between economic development and environmental protection. For now, Antarctica remains unique. No permanent population, no national government, no cities, no commercial industry on the scale seen elsewhere. Instead, it stands as a rare example of international cooperation in a world often divided by competition. Yet beneath its vast frozen surface, powerful strategic interests continue to grow. Nations are preparing for possibilities that may never happen, while ensuring they are not left behind if circumstances change. Whether Antarctica remains a peaceful scientific sanctuary or gradually becomes the world's next geopolitical frontier will depend on the choices made by governments, scientists, and international organizations. The Antarctic race has already begun. The only question is whether it will remain a race for knowledge or become a race for power. If you enjoyed this documentary and want to explore the hidden forces shaping our world, subscribe to the channel and join us for the next journey into geopolitics, technology, and the future of global power.